everybody. So I'm on the trail again, here with you, and what a beautiful day. It truly is a beautiful day. And despite some of the circumstances in life that don't always go the way that you want them to, it's still a beautiful day, and I'm taking advantage of that beautiful day. So wanted to talk to you about disappointment, and that sometimes we are going forth in a certain fashion towards, achieving our goals and, moving forward. What a beautiful butterfly. Hi, butterfly. And we're excited about the momentum that we're creating. And then all of a sudden, something happens and we are caught off track. Maybe we get a little jostled. Maybe we get a little shaken up. Maybe we might lose our cool for the moment, right? Because, wow, life circumstances. And sometimes those circumstances may be a setback, permanent or temporary, not always known in the moment. We just realize, oh gosh, this thing that wasn't on my plate is now on my plate, and now I have to deal with it. So inside of all that, there is the resiliency, there is the discipline within you to keep going despite the circumstances, because the circumstances are looking challenging, right? But despite those challenging circumstances, there is a way to move through, to press through, to keep moving towards those goals. But you might have to achieve those goals in a different way than what you originally thought was your strategy. So, sometimes people will reach out and they'll say, I'm really inspired by you and, what you're doing, and I'd like to make a donation to what you're doing because I'm inspired and I want to help you to keep going along. And so you get like, wow, great, that would be fantastic. Yes, I'll receive and accept that donation. I'll accept that help. And sometimes that's to help you along the journey to complete a portion, a task, something, or be able to help you in your ministry in some way, because you can direct those funds to complete that task. But then when somebody says, I'm choosing to pull back, I'm choosing to not want to help you at this time or no more, and you're like, well, what's the reason? Is there, a reason why you don't want to keep, supporting? Is there a reason why you feel like, trying to figure out which way I want to go. I'm going to go this way. Is there a reason why you're choosing, I'm going to actually go this way. Is there a reason why you're choosing to not, support me, support us, support this business in the way that you were before? Like, is there something that we did that disappointed you? Is there something that, like, what's the reason? And when they're like, I just changed my mind. And sometimes when you hear those words, I just changed my mind. Like, I don't feel like, being of support anymore, but I choose to not want to help. That can be disappointing. It can be, I'm going to go this way. It can be unsettling. Like, look how beautiful this is. Yay. How gorgeous, right? God's beautiful natural beauty. Ah, the sound. Yes. So I'm going to take a different entrance to the water. That one's a little steep. So what I'm getting at is that sometimes people pull back their support and they say, I changed my mind. And although it's disappointing, although, it can cause you to have to rethink your priorities. It may cause you to rethink, check it out. It may cause you to rethink your priorities, and you're like, well, I really didn't want it to happen that way. I wanted to have more time. I wanted to be able to complete this task. But again, you're put to uncomfortable circumstances, and you're going to have to deal with the new circumstances, right? Deal with a new situation. And so bear with me here. It's a little rocky and challenging right here. So when I had to deal with the fact that this is the new scenario, and either I'm going to just accept that this is what is, or and I'm going to have to strategize how I'm going to handle the commitments that I committed to based on this person's, contribution, this person's donations, this person's income towards what I was committed to. And in that moment, again, it's like you have to reset yourself. You have to rethink, how am I going to handle this situation? Like, okay. And then you go back to, what am I providing? What am I committed to? What can I do within this time frame? What do I have on my plate that I can let go of that will help me to continue to stick to my goals, but that will free me up from some of these other responsibilities that at the immediate now are not really helping. In the future, I'd hope that they would, but at the immediate now, they're really not helping because the marketplace has changed in ways that people look for information. So with all this, I'm just letting you know that I'm going to be making some changes to my financial plan. And with those changes are going to come some deletions of some of the systems and some of the things that I've had on my plate for some time. And oh, look at this beautiful butterfly. But in order for me to become that beautiful butterfly, sometimes you got to let go of some things that are holding you down. And I hope that I'll be able to pick those things back up again. But right now, I'm going to be slimming down my budget for the purpose of meeting these other goals that are on my plate. So what that means is some of my websites are not going to be, I'm not going to be using them. And I'm going to be using different social media platforms to get my message across, but not putting my energy into making all my information available on the website. So if you notice those changes, it's not that I'm like totally gone away. It's just that I'm reformatting my systems. And in order to do that, sometimes it's better to like break everything down and start all over, because originally when I set up those websites, they were with a different business model, and the codes and stuff that I put in when I first started that website was for a different industry, and I'm not in that industry, and that was causing all these conflicts within the whole Google searching and what have you. So sometimes it's easier to like break something down and start all over again, and unfortunately it's a pain. It's a pain for me as well, but I'm just letting you know that some of those changes are coming. So stay with me. Thank you for your patience. And I guess what I'm saying is sometimes we are faced with disappointment. Sometimes we are faced with things that we didn't anticipate, and we have to create a workaround. And sometimes the workaround is not initially what we had hoped for, but that there is a bigger, there is a benefit in the bigger purpose if we just kind of stay the course. So stay with me if you can. Like this button and like this video, and make a comment if you'd like. It'll help the channel increase. Share it with someone, and I thank you for your support. Have a great one.